And we are live. What's up, everybody? AJ here from AJ's Collectibles, back with another TCI, the collector interview episode. This is episode 21, featuring Ty Locke, aka Homespun Geek, man. What can I say? He's definitely a bro of mine. He does amazing stuff on his channel. He always goes live from time to time to always hang out and have a good time on there. And he does amazing videos. He does a little bit of everything, from wrestling, Funko Pops, all that good stuff. So make sure you go check him out. Go subscribe to him, go follow him. It's all in the description below. So make sure you go do that, and make sure you go do that, or I'll come over there and strangle you until you follow him and subscribe to him. So what's up, Ty? You want to say something?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate that. That's actually really cool of you, man.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. And I also want to say, what's up to everybody. You know, tuning in right now. Fritzy, Tats, Titus. So welcome everybody. Glad to have you all on here as well. We appreciate every single one of you.
What's up, Tats? What's up, Titus? How's it going, guys?
Yeah, doing good, man. All right, so let's get started. So before you started collecting, whatever it was Funko Pops or anything else, like who were you at first? Like who were you like before you became, this huge nerd collector and everything?
Oh, I've always been a nerd, man. Like, there was never a time before nerd. I started reading comic books in like probably fourth or fifth grade, and that was it. That was it for me. Like once and then my Masters of the Universe, that was like when I was 4 or 5. So since the beginning, I've always been that kind of guy. I had all the toys. When I was a kid, we all used to beg our parents for the toys. Every time they
Right.
took us to the store, we're like, "Oh, hey, let me get that one. Oh, I want that one." I did that. I'm guilty of doing that. My parents were always cool, always willing to pick up stuff for me. And then comic books. Once I got to like junior high, that was it, man. Like I was in the comic book so hard. I used to go to the local comic shop, Bedrock City Comics in Houston, because I'm from Houston.
Mm.
Uh, Used to go to the local comic shop every single week. And then I started picking up collectibles, comics, shirts, hats, you name it. I bought everything there.
Mm. Now, what about Funko Pops? What was the main thing that attracted to you to, get started with this huge, wall shelves of Funko Pops?
My first pop was Yoda, the first Star Wars wave. It was the very first Yoda that came out. It was actually a gift to me, Christmas gift from my mom, who had no idea. She don't know what. She still to this day does not know what Funko Pops are, but she saw it. She knew I liked Star Wars, so she bought it for me, and that's kind of what started it. Then once I got married, we were buying one or two pops for every holiday, like Christmas, anniversary, birthdays, for each other, just because I liked them. I thought they were cool, and I told her, I just want one, maybe two at the most. Wish I had bought a lot more than that back then, but yeah, we only did like one or two for every series. When the He-Man series came out, I only asked her to get me He-Man and Skeletor, and I'm glad I did, because those are hard to find now. But the other three from that first series are all 150, 200 plus dollars. I think she was up close to 400, $500.
Yeah. Now,
But yeah, and then it just spiraled after that. Eventually we took a trip to Disney World one year, and then we found out that when we came back from Disney World, we found out that Funko had the Disney Treasures box and their subscription box, and that's before it was at Hot Topic. It was actually run by Funko. You had to order it online and have it delivered. And so we jumped on that, and we did it from the beginning all the way through the first year. And then when they moved it over to Hot Topic, we had to go to Hot Topic to get the new one. And once we went into Hot Topic and I saw all those other pops there, I was like, oh, I'm buying all these. So
Yeah, I feel you on that. Now, when you first met Sherry, was she like the same way? You like, kind of nerdy and like, into like these collectibles as well.
Oh, 100%. Shuri is absolutely a nerd. She's, obviously she's a girl, so she's more into like the girly nerd stuff, but she was always into Disney. She was always into The Little Mermaid and Alice in Wonderland. Before we even had Funko Pops, we had statues and figures of, characters from Disney. That's her thing. Our whole living room is covered in that kind of stuff. I think I shared a picture of some of her collectibles on Instagram, I think last week, her Winnie the Pooh collectibles, but we had those before we started doing Funko.
Right. And like, you just thought to yourself, she's a keeper, so she's a nerd like me.
100. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. I knew that we meshed right off the bat. Um, the first time we went on a date, she actually came back to my house, and at that time I wasn't a big Funko person, but I had movies was my big collection, and I had tons and tons of movies. And there's a musical. There's a musical movie. This will place a big nerd on my forehead called Repo: The Genetic Opera, and it has Paris Hilton in it.
Mm.
But I loved it. I loved it. And she saw that on the shelf the first time she came to my house. And I think that was it. Like once she saw that, because she also had seen it and she knew what it was and she loved it. And that was like right away. We were like, we knew we were made for each other.
Right. I feel that. Now, since that first pop, did you ever think, you would have a giant room filled with all these Funko Pops?
No, I mean, we were collecting one or two for Christmas, one or two for our birthdays. I think at one point we had, before we really got heavy, we had probably 40 to 50 pops in this room. We kept them in this room because this is our spare bedroom, or it was our spare bedroom. And we had them on shelves in this room. And then I thought we were going to continue on like that, one or two, three, maybe at the most per year. And, that's all I really thought. And then I started watching YouTube and saw everybody else's collections. And I was like, I got to get on this. I got to get a bigger collection.
Yeah. Yeah. I also want to say, Awakened Sage is here. So what's up, bro? And then Fritz is saying, ew, gross dad.
Oh, shut up, Fritz.
Oh, man.
What's up, Awaken Says? How's it going?
Now, when it comes to Funko Pops, like, do you become really selective, or do you like, limit to yourself for what you really love, what series it is, and anything like that?
I think I'm a little bit more selective now. In the beginning, when I really started collecting, started doing my YouTube channel, I don't feel like I was very selective. There's a lot of pops that I probably wouldn't have bought now. But I would say I'm probably a little bit more selective now. Like I try to stick with my genre. In the beginning, I was buying all the MCU pops. Like when every movie that came out, they would release all the pops, and I would just buy them all. Now I don't buy MCU at all unless it's Thor. I love Thor, so I'll still buy the Thor stuff, but I don't really care much for the new. I didn't buy any of the Black Widow pops. So I think I'm a little bit more selective now. I'm going to say I still buy a lot, but I do think that I stick to what I like a little bit more.
Right. Now, you mentioned, you used to, go crazy buying all these. What was the main thing that came into your head that, all right, my collection's getting crazy, so I just really got to slow it down now?
Oh, when we start running out of space, when we start running out of wall space and shelves, and basically, I have like the shelves that you see behind me in my videos. There's 4 on this wall. There's 3 more in this room, and then I have floating shelves on 2 of the walls in this room. So I don't have any more wall space. Fortunately, these shelves here are they're three deep, so you can pull a pop out, and there's two more rows behind them on every shelf. So
Man.
yeah,
Does Cherie ever tell you that okay, it's getting out of hand, let's just really cut it down?
every day. Every day. She tells me, oh, every time I go to buy something new, she says, you don't need that. Every single time. And then I have boxes. I'm really bad at opening my boxes, so I'll order pops, and then I won't open the boxes for 6 months to a year. Really, I mean that's true. And so I have boxes like piled up in here and in our living room, and that's what drives her crazy the most is all the boxes that get piled up. So a lot of times when I make videos, I'm really only making videos to open boxes to make her happy.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're gonna be putting pops, in the bathroom and in the shower, in the backyard, garage.
Yeah,
like
yeah, that's
it's,
true. There's a big bathroom in this room that nobody ever uses, and I have actually thought about emptying that thing out and putting a bunch of pops in there.
I feel that. I feel you on that. Yeah, it's just insane. Funko Pops. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I can tell you almost every day they announce something that I probably am going to want to buy. Like today, they announced all the Simpsons pops.
Yeah,
More than likely, I'm going to buy all those pops.
man. Yeah, yeah. It's just that Funko. Usually they do an amazing job. When it comes to like these Funko Pops, but like some other times they just don't. They kind of just fail on it.
Yeah.
Now, do you see yourself collecting for another 5 or 10 years, or maybe at one point you may just stop?
That's a good question. I would probably say yes. I mean, as long as Funko is around, I'll probably continue to collect, but I'll probably a little bit less every year. Just because at some and so yeah, I'll probably collect a little bit less every year, but yeah, I'll probably continue to collect.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Like, I mean, like myself, I don't know, like, the way this year has been going, I just don't feel like, buying as much pops. Because,
Yeah,
myself, I'm a huge Marvel collector.
yeah,
So my main collection is Marvel. So, but to be honest, I just been really selective, really been limited. Because,
yeah.
when they first announced the X-Men pops, I was like, okay, they look cool. But now that they're starting to come out, I'm like, I don't know if I want them now.
I've done that too. I've done that where now everything is up for pre-order within like a couple of days of the
Mhm.
announcement. A year ago when they would announce it and then you couldn't buy it or order it for 3 or 4 months. By the time that 3 or 4 months passed, the hype was over, and you were like, oh, I really liked those. I was so excited to see those, but now I've had 3 months to think about it, and I don't think I really need them. I have definitely had that happen to me.
No, yeah. It's that, always collect what we love and, not just for like, I guess you can say the hype for it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. You know, Speaking of Funko, like to you, what's your opinion when they overdo it with the pops? Like, for instance, like, they come out with a common and then next week, the following week, they announce a flocked, a chrome, metallic,
Yeah,
glow. What's your
right.
take on?
I think the metallic they can be done with. The chrome they can be done with. Um, I do like okay, so I used to collect Dragon Ball Z like a lot, like Fritzy. Like Fritzy collects all of Dragon Ball Z. And I've really stopped collecting Dragon Ball Z, mostly because I don't need 40 Vegetas and 40 Gokus. And
Right.
then, there was a I believe a blue chrome Vegeta, and then they had red, and then they had silver, and then they had, and so I just don't feel the need to have all of those. So now, as far as Dragon Ball Z goes, I only buy the characters that they haven't come out with. Like with the new set, I bought Hercule. That's the only one I bought because I don't have a Hercule, so I wanted to add him to my collection. I haven't watched Super, so I didn't buy Khalifa or Kale. And maybe when I watch Super, I might go back and buy those pops. But for now, I don't really feel like I need them. So now, as far as that series goes, I only will buy the new characters if it's somebody they haven't made yet. And sometimes those pops are worth nothing, because if you go back and look at Android 18 and 17, the value on those are like $5 or $6. I would not get rid of them because I like Dragon Ball Z, and those are the only versions they've made of those characters. But so it's not necessarily even about value. I just want to have those characters in my collection.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think that if they're gonna do a flocked version, I don't mind the flocked. I like the flocked. If they're gonna do a flocked version, sometimes I feel like they should do a different mold, like put them in a different pose or do something different, because that makes me want to buy it even more than just, they came out with the He-Man. They just had the He-Man that came out, the new wave, and there was a He-Man in there, and there was that old Battle Armor Skeletor, and now they've released the shirts with glow-in-the-dark versions of those, and GameStop has the pre-order box with a flocked version of that same He-Man. So I'm gonna do them all because Masters of the Universe, I want to buy everything that comes out. But if it was any other series, like really any other series, I would probably not buy all of them.
Right. No, I figure on that because uh, most of us, we definitely have like that one, special like show or whatever we were into as a kid that makes us just want to buy, the set from it.
Right.
Like like my older brother, he grew up on Masters of the Universe as well, so you should just see like his room full of collectibles of it and all. He even has like the castle. I
Yeah.
mean, like it's definitely insane.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of stuff. It's really gotten a lot more popular in the last couple of years, and now there's just like a ton of stuff coming out. Like I started buying the Mega Constructs little figures that they have at like Walmarts and Targets. I started buying all of those. So it's just in the last couple of years, it seemed like Master of the Universe has just flooded the market. There's so much stuff to buy. I literally pre-ordered the replica of the sword and Skeletor staff on Entertainment Earth this week.
Mhm. Yeah, like it's like you say, it's just crazy how much collectibles they do from one thing.
Right.
Yeah. Before we continue, I want to shout out, everyone else who has come through. Rob Molina, and then Popular Opinion, and then Robert Breaks YouTube. He just answered, who is your favorite YouTuber and why is it me?
Why is it Rob? Because you're the
Yeah.
master of puns, Rob. That's why. Because you're amazing.
Oh, he's the master of puns.
Oh yeah.
We got another pun master over here, Rob Molina. I can see them going at it. Oh, that would be fun. Now, besides Funko, what are some of your favorite other things you love to collect?
Oh man. So I still collect comic books, not as much as I used to, but I do still buy a lot of them, the ones that I really want. Like I still read The Walking Dead, or I read The Walking Dead up until they ended it. So I still went back and bought The Walking Dead books. Um, as far as I buy video games quite a bit. I sometimes I buy video games and I never even open them. I just buy them to have them. Uh, I I have a lot of wrestling stuff. I have a lot of wrestling stuff because I'm a big fan of wrestling. So I would say that's probably about it. I have a lot of wrestling, um, lots of comic books, and then we do collect Star Wars stuff because my son is a giant Star Wars fan. So whenever we see something cool, we still buy Star Wars stuff.
All right, that's cool. Speaking of wrestling, what was your favorite era from from WWE, WWF?
I still would have to say what I know everybody probably says. The Attitude Era was probably my favorite era.
Yeah.
That's not where my favorite wrestler is from, though. My favorite wrestler is Roddy Piper. I
Mm.
love Roddy Piper. My ancestry is Scottish, so every time he came out with bagpipes and the kilt on, when I was a little kid, I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. But yeah, the Attitude Era definitely is my favorite era.
No, yeah, and myself too. I grew up on it, and all the legends you had. Like Eddie Guerrero. Stone Cold, Rock, like Biker, Undertaker, like American Badass, and that was just like one of the best ones.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
I like the biker Taker version, the version of Taker that was the biker. I don't know why that. I feel like it didn't last as long as it could have. I feel like they could have gone along a lot longer with the biker Taker.
no, no, yeah, true, yeah, it just didn't last long. I mean, I don't know, maybe it was like Vince, he didn't like it as much, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, it might be.
Do you still watch wrestling? Today's new era generation.
Oh yeah, I still watch it. I still watch for sure. We watch the pay-per-views. We have a group of people called the PWO,
Hmm.
which one of which is Fritzy, and Popular Opinion, UAM Collectibles, and a handful of other people. We still watch wrestling. We actually live stream the pay-per-views, and we'll be live streaming SummerSlam at the end of the month on my channel. But yeah, we watch the pay-per-views, and I still watch a lot of the other stuff too. I watch Impact when I can. I watch AEW on Wednesdays. The only one I don't really watch a lot of is Ring of Honor, but that's just because I don't have a channel that carries Ring of Honor.
Yeah, and that's myself too. I used to watch Impact when guys like Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, AJ Styles when they used to be there, and I don't know. I myself, I never gave Ring of Honor a chance. I
Yeah,
might soon, but like AEW, it definitely has been killing it.
yeah.
Um,
Well, all the AEW guys came from Ring of Honor. I mean, they were there before they started AEW, and Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. They were all at ROH. There's still a lot of good guys at Ring of Honor. Marty Scurll is still at Ring of Honor. There's a lot of great guys over there, and now Impact has a lot of the guys that WWE released. They have Gallows and Anderson. I'm trying to think who a lot of guys went over there. So Impact's doing pretty good right now too, I think.
yeah, it definitely has. Vince just dropping the ball on all these stars, and they're just going where they're definitely gonna be treated right.
Yeah. I think the
Like,
best example of them dropping the ball on a superstar is Finn Balor being sent back to NXT.
mm,
When I thought Finn Balor could have been the next big guy, the next like big thing. At one point he was the Universal Champion, and I just think they really messed up with Finn Balor.
well, they really did. I get he was only Universal Champion for a day because he had that injury, but like you say, they could have done so much more to him because he is one of my current favorite wrestlers, and
Yeah,
I kind of feel like it was a good move when they moved him back to NXT. Just putting
right.
over some stars that were rising up and everything, but I don't know the way he's at right now. I feel like I don't know. Maybe they're kind of failing on him.
Yeah. Yeah, they brought him back to NXT, but I just don't feel like in the beginning he did really well, but I feel like the last like couple of months I just haven't seen much from him. I just don't feel like he's really had the opportunity to shine there. Even if he was going to put the younger guys over, which I'm okay with. I'm absolutely okay with that because there's a lot of good stars at NXT. But I just feel like I want to see a lot more from Finn Balor.
Oh yeah, true. Like to me, I always loved the demon persona that he had.
Yeah. Yeah, he had an entrance that he came out one time when he
But
was at NXT the first time. He came out as Jack the Ripper when he had the hat on. Uh, that was by far the best Finn Balor entrance that they have ever done. That's pretty much what sold me on Finn Balor. I was like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be a star.
yeah, I mean, hopefully, they still give him that chance push.
Yeah,
But the way this year has been, I feel like they just want to push the same stars over and over.
right. I do too. I feel like Seth, I don't really dislike Seth. I think he's a great wrestler, but I think that he's always in the middle of everything. He always has the opportunities. He's always doing like the big storylines, like the Messiah of Monday nights, that thing that he's doing right now, the Rey Mysterio match, that he just fought Rey with the eye for an eye thing. I just feel like they give Seth too much because I like the guy, but I want to see everybody else get the same opportunities.
Yeah, like I mean, to me, I kind of stopped watching wrestling a couple years ago because I just got tired of them pushing the same stars.
Yeah,
But then
Roman
when I,
Reigns.
when I saw that Sasha and Bailey they won the women's tag team titles, that's when I was like, I'm basically done with it now because they were already like champions, the Raw
Yeah,
Women's Champion and SmackDown
yeah.
Women's. So
Right now they
mhm.
hold all four belts, I believe. They hold both women's
Yeah,
belts and the tag belts.
yeah, they
Yeah,
are like
that's pointless. They should put those tag belts on somebody that needs them.
exactly. Like there are times I still watch NXT. Like I feel like NXT is so much better than Raw and SmackDown right now.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, when when with Funko Pops, what's the best line in your collection that you love to collect?
It's by far Masters of the Universe. Although uh, there's been a drought. There was a drought for a long time with Masters of the Universe where there was nothing. In fact, there were the rumors that they had lost the license and they weren't going to be making any more stuff because they made the Savage World figures, and everybody thought that they had lost the license because of those figures. But now all of a sudden now there's like a giant like drop of these Masters of the Universe figures, which I'm okay with. I love it. Uh, I think my second favorite line, that's hard. My second favorite line, I think, would probably be The Office. I really like The Office Pops because that's one of my. I love that show.
Yeah. Now, to you, are you a big anime guy?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, to you, what are some of your favorite animes that you love to watch?
My number one, my personal favorite anime is One Piece. I love One Piece. Um, my hero is probably one of the best animes there is. Um, we've watched all of it. We love My Hero, and then I would say Attack on Titan also is probably one of my top.
That's pretty cool. Just like Nakama Collectibles, he's in here right now. Like that's one of like his. I think his number one favorite One Piece as well.
Yeah, I love One Piece. I don't. I think One Piece gets a lot of hate because it's so long, but I think that's probably part of what makes it the best for me because I love that the story continues and the story keeps changing and everybody keeps changing. I just think that's great.
Yeah. Uh, what about your personal favorite? What's your personal favorite, dub or sub?
My personal favorite is dub. I hate reading. I hate having to read. I don't want to read. I'd rather my eyes be on. Anime is all to me. Anime is all about the art of what's happening, and I'd rather have to not look away from the art to have to read what's below. I know sometimes it gets lost in translation, but I just think anime is beautiful as an art, and I don't want to have to be reading the words at the bottom of the screen when there's such awesome stuff happening on the screen.
Right. Yeah, like it does get in the way at times. Like, okay, I'm trying to watch it. I'm trying to watch it and then trying to read it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the now. When it comes to buying, collectibles, where do you go where you just want to find something, where they sell a little of everything? Like, it's like, do you have like, big local comic book shops or like, local toy store, like, or
Oh,
like,
I live in a pretty country area. We do have a local comic shop, but it's very small. It's not. They do have a lot of stuff. They have a lot of toys. They don't have a lot of pops though. They do have they have the comics. They have the toys, but their pop selection is very, very slim. As far as Funko Pops go out here, the best place to go is Second and Charles, which is what our Books a Million is. That's probably the best place to go for pops. They do have a lot of newer commons, but they also have a case with some higher value pops. The last few times we've been though, their pops that they had in the case were terrible. They were damaged or they were priced too high or something. But yeah, they do have a lot of stuff there though.
um, when you get the chance, like, do you always like, look to see when you look around and you're like to yourself, oh, this looks cool, so I'm gonna pick it up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I do that all the time. It's a terrible problem.
It is. What about those moments where you go to the store and then you see something that you've been wanting for a while, or like, you just saw the other day, and then you tell yourself, okay, it's here, so I'm gonna come back the next day to get it. But then you go back, it's not there anymore. Have you had those regret moments?
Oh yeah. I have regret moments all the time. I have regret moments if the Funko shop drops something and I say, "Oh, I don't really want it." I don't really want that. I'm not going to buy it. If that sells out in the first hour, then I immediately regret not getting it. It doesn't even matter what it is. If it sells out in the first hour, I'm like, "Oh, I should have bought it. I should have bought it." Only because once you didn't buy it that time, if you can't find it again, you're going to have to pay flipper prices. And so that's the downside to collecting, because if you don't get it when you see it, you're going to have to pay a lot more money for it later down the line.
And like, I have had those moments myself too. I started collecting Funko Pops back in 2018, and so I mean, I guess you can say I kind of started a little late, but there were so many pops I wanted to go after, but then
Yeah.
they weren't in store anymore, and so I had to pay a flipper price for them.
Yep.
Like, I remember, the Captain America ECCC, I believe it was 2016 or 17.
Right.
That became one of my favorite ones, and I think it was like almost $50 paying for it.
Yeah, that's terrible. Especially if you saw it in stores. That's terrible.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't want to like do that anymore.
Right. That's one of the terrible things about being a Funko collector or a collector of anything, is that you always have that doubt. There's always that doubt when things drop. Like, I say I don't want MCU pops anymore, but if a great movie comes out there's going to be that doubt in my mind that's going to say, "Oh, maybe I should just go ahead and get them," because if I really like that movie, then I'm going to regret not getting them because those pops are going to be gone, and then I'm going to have to buy them on eBay or Mercari or something. But yeah, there's always that doubt on everything. It's just part of part of collecting, I guess.
Yeah. It's just like the Stone Keeper from Infinity War.
Oh yeah, I didn't buy that one too. That's a big regret for me too.
Yeah, like I believe I haven't checked the app, but I believe it's like worth like I think between 60 or 70 right now.
Yeah. Another one that I have a big regret on is I only recently started really trying to get the Flintstones pops.
Mhm.
And right when I started my YouTube channel, Funko dropped a 4-pack of Dino, and they were all different colors. And because you had to buy all four of them, so I think it was like $60. At that time, I was like, I'm not paying $60 for these pops.
Yeah.
And now they're all worth $60 individually or more, depending on the color of it. But that's one of my biggest collecting regrets is that I passed that because I was like $60 is too much, and now they're all probably at least $60. It'd probably be close to $300 to get them.
All right. No, yeah, like we all had like that moment, like we just miss out on it and
Yeah, for sure.
can't. Now, when you collect, when you go out and buy, especially when you go on a hunt or even online, do you know exactly what you're looking for, or do you just like you're just browsing and then you see in store like or online that, oh, this is cool, so I'm just gonna pick it up,
I
like
get it kind of depends, I guess. If it's a drop, if it's like a Target Con or San Diego Comic Con or any of the con drops or something like that, then absolutely I know exactly what I'm going for. But if I just decide to go pop hunt tomorrow, I have no idea what I'm going for. I'll just go to 4 or 5 different stores, and if I see something that I don't have that I want, I'll just pick it up. Just depends on what it is really.
all right. Hey, you still there, bro?
I'm still here, yeah, man.
Yeah, sorry, my Wi-Fi cut out. Like, ugh, I hate it.
All right, no problem.
But we're good now.
Okay, cool.
As I was saying, like, when it comes to online, what about like buying there online? Like, what's more your preference? Like going out on the hunt or like just buying everything online?
I mean, I think I'd prefer to be able to find it online, but you can't trust anybody shipping anymore. So I think it's probably better to find it in store, especially if it's in good condition. But sometimes even in store now, you can't trust on whether it's going to be in good condition because pops are just crushed all the time lately. Um, that's a really hard one. It's kind of a flip either way for me. If I can't find it in store, I'd rather find it online. I think our GameStop is the best bet for in-store pops because they don't really seem to put the damaged stuff out. I never see damaged pops in our GameStops.
Mm,
But if I can't find it in store, I'd rather pick it up online for sure.
yeah. Oh man, I'm just seeing these comments right now.
Oh yeah,
Fritz-
I was reading the comments.
Now we have to stare at Tylak's face. Why are we getting punished as viewers? And Awakened Sage, he left and came back with a 4K camera.
You can see Bieber hair, Fritzy.
Wow.
Fritzy Funko, that's one heck of a guy right there.
He definitely is. Now, I know we talked about this earlier, but when it comes to Funko Pops, like I know you, I know you don't have the room for it, but like, do you put everything in storage? And
No,
then
I don't put anything in storage.
okay,
I mean, one day I might rent a storage. I actually have a really, really big garage, but I haven't put anything out there because in Texas it's just humid all the time,
Mhm.
and I'm worried for the boxes if I put stuff out in the garage. But maybe one day I'll rent a storage unit that has climate control, and I'll probably start putting stuff in there. But right now,
Yeah, I feel you. Uh, yo, can you hear me? I think 'cause you kind of
is that better?
yeah, it just you just kind of cut off a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, even first you just said it was your turn to time out.
Ty likes turpentine out. Okay, I'll take it.
Now, when it comes to like figure wise, what are some brands that or companies that that interest you that call your name that you may want to like get from them soon? If it's like NECA or like even Hasbro or like SH Figure Arts, Marcel X, and has there been any stores like that call your name?
Uh, the announcement of the Back to the Future figures with NECA, I might drop some money on that. I don't have any NECA figures, but I'm very interested in those Back to the Future figures. They look really good, especially the Doc Brown looks fantastic. A lot of the Ninja Turtle figures that NECA has done have looked really good. I just haven't, pulled the trigger on those yet. Other than that, I would say I do have Ben Presto. I have
Mhm.
probably 4 or 5 Impresto figures, mostly either Dragon Ball or One Piece, or not One Piece, but My Hero. I do have a One Piece. That's right. I have Zoro, and I don't know if there's anything else right now. Um, I think that's probably it. That's really that I've seen. I've been looking at statues a lot. I've been looking at a lot of statues, like Sideshow Collectibles. I watch a lot of their statue unboxing videos on Instagram, and they almost have me to buy a couple of high dollar statues, but it'll be a little while before I do that because I have to figure out where I'm going to put them. There is a company I've been watching on Instagram called Iron Studios that has they have a Odin figure. They have a statue of Odin that I think is absolutely like amazing. It looks so good. I just haven't pulled the trigger. I haven't jumped on that yet. Maybe eventually. I just, like I said, it's going to be a issue with figuring out where I'm going to put it.
Yeah, that's true. You know, just always gotta find space for everything. You know.
Yeah.
Now, you know, speaking of that, you know, what was the how do you say it? Like, how much did you like? What was the most you spent on one figure, like throughout your life?
I bought this Hordak right here from Masters of the Universe a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, for $130 on Spastic Pops. I'd say that's probably the most that I've spent. I have a hard time spending over $60-$70 on a figure. But yeah, that one was 130, which is, it was his PPG. That was his PPG at the time. Now it's 170. But yeah, I want to try to get those old ones that I missed when they first dropped. So I've been trying to hold back a little bit of money here and there so that I can go ahead and just drop what I need to on those figures and have them for my collection.
All right, yeah. Yeah, like I know, you know, most of us we just always have time. I mean, not time, but like don't have like the time to like be like, I just don't want to put this much money on this one little figure, you know.
Yeah, it's especially hard to have to spend a lot of money on one figure when there's constantly new figures coming out that I want as well. Like, I knew the convention was coming. I knew that Virtual Con was coming, and I knew I was going to drop $300 or $400 on it. And well, that could have gotten me two of those Masters of the Universe pops that I wanted probably, but I wanted those con pops too. So it's just kind of like you have to make the decision. You know, do you want to spend it on 5 or 6 of these con pops, or do you want to buy one of your grails? So I've been trying to hold back a little bit of money here and there, not buy as many commons, not buy as many exclusives that I would normally have bought a year ago.
Yeah.
And put that money towards, you know, buying some of my bigger grails. And honestly, with the grail situation, with buying like high dollar pops, it's not even about having those pops because of value. It's just because I have an empty space in my collection, and I need those pops to fill my collection. So I will never, ever, ever flip any of my pops. I will never sell my pops. The most I do is if I get a mystery box, if I buy a mystery box from anybody and I get commons out that I don't want or duplicates, I will put them on Mercari, because I'm not going to keep 2 or 3 of the same pop. So I'll usually put them on Mercari. I think the most I've sold anything on Mercari for was like $15 to $20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I always been at that point with myself, you know, like myself, I'm getting close, or I think I'm already there, you know, half of 500 pops.
Yeah.
And I just always been debating myself if I want to, like, you know, start cutting down, you know, sell some of them, or like just keep them and like just keep going, you know.
Yeah, it's a hard decision. You know, I completely understand though. Like I think about it all the time too. Like, do I want to go through and sort out a bunch of stuff that I don't want, or do I want to just keep everything? It's going to come down to it eventually for me. It's going to be about the space. Do I have the space for more? If I don't have the space for more, then I might need to sell some of my older stuff, you know, but that's how it would be for me. Otherwise I have no intention of ever getting rid of anything.
Right. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I mean, just be the same. Just keep it all.
Yeah,
Like I have 3 bins full, of pops, in my closet.
yeah,
It just makes me think that I might just go out of box, so I can have more room to put the rest of them put away in storage,
right.
just just so it can just so they can all fit.
I've seen a lot of people do that too, though. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like see what happens later on and everything. So let's see here. When you first started, when you had made your channel, like who were some of the first people you had met?
When I first started YouTube,
Yeah.
uh, so I do credit this guy all the time for introducing me to other Funko channels. I did what a lot of people do, and I watched some of the big channels like Jetta Patrol,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to think of who all I watched. Jetta Patrol, Nerdy Noob, Top Pops. I watched Cletus Selden. Now he's half gladiator, half geek. I watched a lot of those channels, but I don't really consider them people that I met. I just watched their stuff. But I eventually met a guy named Funko Preacher, Mark Funko Preacher. He is a really great guy. And he started commenting on my videos and then suggested that I go check out some of these other channels. So I started looking at other channels and watching other channels, and did not even know that there were that many channels out there. I just knew the big ones. And so, yeah, Funko Preacher really introduced me into a lot of people, and he has been my friend for about a little over 2 years now, as well as Funko Pops and Unicorns. Caitlin at Funko Pops and Unicorns is probably been one of my longest friends on YouTube. I found her through Franklin McInnes, FM McInnes, his Funko News videos that he does, which are, I have to tell you, his Funko News videos are some of the best Funko News videos that are out there. I think a lot of us watched him at some point or another, watched those news videos. I think she had sent him a gift, and he mentioned her in his video or his live stream or whatever he was doing at that time. And I thought, well, I don't know who that is, so I'll go check her out. And I went over to her channel and watched her channel, and I just thought she was really, really a great person. And so we've been friends for a little over 2 years now. So those two, I think, are probably my first real connections in the YouTube community. Now I pretty much know everybody. Honestly, I know I've had one-on-one conversations with almost everybody, including Dr. Applesauce and lots of other people. But yeah, I do have a lot of really close friends, and I know most everybody. That's every week on my happy hour live stream that I do on Mondays. I try to have new people on because I don't want to just have all the same people on every week. I want to have new people on, give everybody an opportunity to hang out with us and have some fun and just talk. So I try to make it a point to at least try to get to know everybody, because it's just I once I started YouTube, I don't know, I was like 200, 300 subscribers, something like that. And Funko Pops and Unicorns did a giveaway, and she told everybody to go to my channel and hashtag in one of my videos, which we all do, and subscribe. And I got 20 so subscribers. And once she did that, I thought, that's a really cool thing that she just did for me. I want to do it for somebody. So I started my Support Saturdays with the intention of trying to help people with their channels and doing anything that I can, because I don't view anybody as competition. I view us all as a giant family. Like, really, really, I mean, we're all the same. We all like the same stuff. We all like the same, nerd stuff. And, like my name is Homespun Geek. I like geeky stuff, man. So it's just a great community to involve yourself with. I feel like I've really liked almost everybody I've ever talked to has just been really genuine and great people. So I do really like the community. So I would say I would consider pretty much everybody my friends, honestly.
No, yeah, I feel you on that. I mean, I kind of came. I guess you can say in this, family community, kind of late because I had first made my Instagram for my collectibles and everything for I think it was back in March,
Right.
and then the following month is when I first made my my channel. And throughout that time, man, to now, I have made a lot of great people, including yourself,
Right.
became like brothers and like just supporting one another. It's just like to me really huge honor being a part of it because like if I did, I wouldn't have met yourself, Fritzy, Walk Sage, Nakama Collectibles, and so on. And I just really love being a part of it, like uh, there's just been at points where my life wasn't going as well, and ever since the first Funko Pop, just made me real happy, and I was like, and this was back in 2018. I just feel like I kind of want to start a channel throughout that time, but then myself, I'm not the best when it comes to editing or anything like
Right.
that. So
Well, it was a big learning curve for me too, because I tell you, I'm almost 40 years old, and I don't know these. I don't know all these programs and things like that. I've never used that kind of stuff before, so it was a big learning curve for me to figure out how to edit. And if you go back and watch some of my earliest videos, I didn't have a light, I didn't have a good camera, I didn't really have a. I wasn't sure of myself, so my personality was not there. um yeah, it took me a while to get used to who I am, and figure out how I want to present myself every week or in every video, but yeah, I think it's definitely a great thing to do, especially because even if you are not, a lot of people are worried about like 1,000 subs and monetize, and I want this, but the community is what's most worth being here for, because I have one friend in my own personal life who collects Funko Pops, and that's it. And she only collects Funko Pops because I started collecting Funko Pops, because I started a YouTube channel. She never had any until I started my channel. So it's really great to have all these people online that I can talk to every day, because I talk to people all day long on Instagram, through videos, whatever. I talk to people all day long, and I've never had that many friends before, and so I appreciate everybody. That's why when I do my lives and in the chat, I try to make sure I say hey to everybody, hello to everybody, thank you for coming. We really appreciate everybody a lot, because I started something that I didn't know. You never know what's going to happen with a YouTube channel or how you're going to grow, and so I always appreciate everybody that comes and watches, or you've been really supportive, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, it's definitely a cool community to be a part of.
no, it definitely is. You know, like for me, the main inspiration when I did the this series, the collector interviews, is from Fred's frequency.
Yeah.
He's definitely a bro of mine, and because like he does all these awesome collector spotlights on his channel, and that's where I got the idea, to do the same thing, but like something a little different, to like interview all these collectors all over, and just to get to know more, see how they start collecting and whatnot, and uh, it's just been amazing, just getting to know these people that from their channels that I love to watch,
Right.
like when I first started watching your videos, I was like, oh, became one of my instant favorites, and I was like, would definitely love to get Ty, on one of my collector series episodes soon, and like here we are, and it's
Yeah.
definitely an honor having you on here again, man.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'll tell you, I never say no to anybody. I never say. I may say no to being on tomorrow, but I will make time to come on and talk to anybody, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Who you are, where you are. We're all. I mean, I appreciate everybody that asked me, and it's an honor to be on your channel. It's always an honor to anybody that asked me to come on. It's an honor, because I'm just me. I'm just a guy who collects toys and hangs out, and that's it. That's all I am. So yeah, I appreciate you asking me to come on. I really do.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that, bro. And like I also want to mention this. If it wasn't for Ty, I wouldn't be where I am right now. He sent a lot of his viewers along my way to my channel, and just gave me over 100 subscribers, and I can't thank this guy enough because just like you, I don't do it for the views or the subscribers. I do this because I love showing off what I like to get. You know,
Yeah.
whether it's Funko Pops, Power Rangers or anything like that, and I can't do this, to meet people, because just like you, I only have two close friends that knows what I'm talking about with Funko Pops and any other collectibles, and like the other few, they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I
Yeah.
remember, I remember I had one friend calling Funko Pops popsicles.
Right.
And I was like, nope, no, we don't do that here. So it
Or
was just
bobbleheads or dolls. People call them bobbleheads or dolls. There's people that I know at my job that'll say, "Hey, do you still collect those bobbleheads? Do you still collect those dolls?" And I'm like, I'm just gonna say, okay, yeah, I still collect them.
yeah, like my parents, they call them dolls.
Yeah.
But they just won't understand.
No, they don't.
Definitely, and like I was mentioning, I can't thank Tag enough. One of those people that one of those bros that sent those viewers along my way to watch why I love to collect and what I like to show off, and just can't thank Tag enough, for all of that. And like just like I support him, he has supported me as well, and it's just been really awesome.
Absolutely, man.
Definitely, bro. Now, speaking of that, to you, what was the biggest thing, the main inspiration for you to start a, YouTube channel?
My YouTube story is, I had a collection of pops and I had a collection of toys and things like that. I never thought about doing YouTube. I watched, the only time I watched YouTube was I like to watch funny stuff. So I would watch the Warp Zone. I would watch just stuff like that. I love funny stuff about nerd stuff, anything like that. And I was doing work at my house one time and I was on a ladder and the ladder slipped out from underneath me
Oh,
and I fell probably about 20 feet and I fell face first onto the ladder and I broke my nose in two spots and I broke my cheekbone right here. I hurt my leg really bad and I couldn't walk for 5 weeks. And so I had to be out of work for 5 weeks. And while I was out and my wife was going to work, my son was going to school, I was home every day and I couldn't do chores, I couldn't do errands, I couldn't do anything. So I would put the TV on and I would start watching different stuff, YouTube. And I was in this room because we had a bed that in this room that I could get in and out of easily. And I had my Funko Pops on one wall and my TV on another. And one day I just thought, I'm going to look up and see what other Funko Pops there are and see if anybody collects them on YouTube. And so I went onto YouTube and I found some channels and I started watching channels and I thought, whoa, man, I didn't know this was really a thing. So for about 5 weeks straight, I watched YouTubers do collectibles and things like that. And then after I was able to, I decided I'm going to go get a camera and I'm going to set this up and I'm going to do this myself. So that's what started my YouTube channel. Was I ended up laid up for 5 weeks and had nothing else to do. Cherie calls it my midlife crisis. she said you she says you almost died and then you decided to start a YouTube channel.
I feel that, and it's great that you started a channel, because you have done a lot of amazing videos, and the Monday hangouts you always do. It always been incredible.
Absolutely. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and with that being said, I believe we're about to wrap this up. So again, Ty Log, Homespun Geek. I really appreciate you having you on, bro. It was definitely another fun episode. Just getting to know getting to know you more, the collector more, see what goes on and how they start collecting, and it was definitely another fun episode. And again to Ty, for being on here and to continue my TCI, the collector interviews, more and more successful.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. And so all of you who I watched, I also want to thank you, appreciate you for being on, like Fritzy, Titus, Tats, Awakened Sage, Rob Molina, Popular Opinion, Robert Breaks YouTube, Nakama, and everyone watching the replay. I really appreciate every single one of you for watching. It really means a lot. And again, go subscribe to Ty if you haven't yet. His YouTube is in the description below, as well as his Instagram. So make sure you go subscribe to him, go follow him, all that good stuff, and definitely, man. Would you like to do something before we end this?
I just want to say again, thanks for letting me come on, man. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate all the shout outs that you do on my videos, man. It really, really means a lot to me. That's actually, really true support, and I do definitely appreciate it, man. I hope everybody has a great week. I know it's Tuesday, so hopefully this week will continue to go by fast and everybody can have the weekend off. But yeah, man, thanks a lot for having me on. That was really awesome of you.
Definitely, bro. And again, thanks again for taking time out of your day, and really means a lot. So, this is AJ from H's Collectibles signing off, featuring Ty Homespun Geek.